In this video, I'm going to try to create fake daylight using this 100-watt LED light from Intellytech. Quick ethics statement, I got this light for free from Intellytech, but they didn't control the content of this video at all. Interior day scenes are probably the most common type of scene to shoot in narrative filmmaking. And to keep the lighting consistent throughout the day, you usually have to use artificial light. The REM18 is the favorite among indie films. It's 1800 watts. The fixture alone weighs 23 pounds. Any lighting setup involving one of these lights would usually involve a whole grip truck full of gear, and of course a crew. But if you're just one guy alone in a house like me, you might be looking for a more portable solution, which is why this little light intrigued me. It's 100 watts, color temperature variable from 2500 to 6500 K, and the fixture alone weighs 5 pounds. It has a built-in FRESNEL lens, which you adjust by twisting the dial as you see here. Here's what it looks like at full flood. And here's how it looks at full spot. You control the light with the control box for power, color temperature, dimming, and wireless DMX control. The box is about 3 pounds. You can use external batteries. You can buy a gold mount version or a V-mount version. It also comes with this nice reflector here, which intensifies the light. But you gotta be careful if you're using direct light because it will cause double shadows. If you want clean, hard shadows, it's best to use it without the reflector. It also comes with snap-on barn doors, which are pretty useful, but I didn't use them for this video. All the lighting tests you're about to see were shot on the Sony a7 III, and my monitor of choice was the FeelWorld LUT7S. For the first little scene that I filmed, I put the X100 outside of a window and I put it in full spot mode, 5600 degrees Kelvin at 100% power. I didn't use any diffusion on the light here because I wanted the maximum amount of output, and even a small amount of diffusion would have cut down the output significantly. The light shining through the window and the curtains gave me this pattern on the wall, which was kind of nice, and I had a very sharp shadow because the light was undiffused. And here's how the wide shot looks with just this one light. To add some atmosphere to the light in post, I used the MOTIONVFX MVOLUMETRIC plugin with the Sunshine preset. So that was a quick way to make the room look a little bit more dusty or smoky and give a bit more mood to the lighting. For my next shot, I wanted to try adding some real haze using atmosphere aerosol, which is basically like a hazer in a can. The haze is most visible when you're shooting into the light. Next, I moved my light outside the kitchen to hopefully create the effect of the morning sun. Now, because I was using no diffusion on the light and no fill light at all, this became a very contrasty shot. To add just a bit of fill to the scene, I brought out my LITECLOTH LC160 RGBW2, which is a flat matte light that you can easily convert into a softbox with the grid, and I put a bed sheet over it for a bit more diffusion. The LC160 was also at daylight color and full power. So here's the same shot with both lights, just a little bit less contrasty. Look at the wall in the background. So here's no lighting, X100 through the window, LC160 through the window, and both the X100 and LC160 together. Then I threw a plastic freezer bag over the X100 to soften the light just a little bit and moved in for a close-up. Okay, next I tried something that's a little crazy. I put up a bed sheet behind the French doors in my house, and behind this thin diffusion, I put up both lights and shined them through some fake plants to hopefully create some texture in the lighting. And this is how it looked, shining into the living room. And here it is without the fake plants. Then I moved the lights around a little bit, changed the color temperature to make them a bit colder, and shot this little scene you can see here. I was going for more of a dark, depressing kind of vibe with this. Then I brought out Intellytech's small softbox for the X100, which is called the XSB, which can be set up easily in under a minute. It uses a standard Bowens mount, so it will fit other manufacturers' lights as well. And just so you know, breaking it down is as easy as setting it up. I put the diffusion and the grid on this light for more directionality. So here's how it looks with the grid on. And without the grid. So one of these Brandons is sitting in front of a window and one is sitting in front of a softbox. Can you tell which is which? The softbox was on the left and the right is natural light. So here's with no lighting. Here's the softbox. Here's a close-up with the softbox. And here's the natural window light. I tried out a few more scenarios with this softbox just to see if I could make it look natural. And overall I found that even though the softbox does a good job softening the light, it still looks pretty sourcey and artificial unless you're very careful about how you place it. Ideally, I would have added another layer of diffusion after the softbox, like a 4x4 frame, but because the X100 is only 100 watts, I would lose a lot of output that way, and it probably wouldn't be able to compete with the ambient light in a room. So the X100 is a lot of fun to play around with. It's a really useful small light for creating a beam of hard light in your scene. And the softbox is useful as long as you keep it pretty close to your talent so you get enough output. On any real shoot, of course, it's better to have a much more powerful source so that you can back it off further and create convincing sunlight across a broader space. But if you're a one-man band or if you're shooting in a small space where you don't need your light to have a whole lot of throw, then the X100 might be the light for you. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. In this course, you're going to learn the run and gun filmmaking techniques that I've developed over years of practice, and you'll learn how to apply your photography skills toward making great videos. We're going to start with the basics. Here you'll learn how to set up your camera and do basic camera movements, both handheld and on a gimbal. Then I'll teach you how to direct an actor and do basic scene coverage so that you'll be able to shoot a complete scene that cuts together smoothly. Then we'll get into the really fun stuff like complex gimbal moves, shooting out on the street, field audio, and hyperlapses. You'll learn some specialty skills like filming a moving vehicle, action sports, and drone filmmaking. Then the shooting lessons will finish with improvised portraits and a party on the beach, where you'll learn some important skills for low light shooting. Then it's on to editing, where I'll show you the methods I've developed so I can effortlessly work with any amount of footage. First, you'll learn how to import and organize your clips. Then you'll learn to create string outs, scenes, and master projects. Then I'll take you step by step through each scene in the film, showing you exactly how I put it together, and most importantly, why I made my creative decisions. Filmmaking is storytelling, and learning to tell a story with the edit is the most important skill of all. I'll show you how I add sound effects and music, and then we'll do some finishing touches like color correction, audio level mastering, and export. So through the making of this short film, you'll learn essential video skills that have taken me years of real-world practice to develop. So I hope you're excited. Let's go ahead and get started.